Hey everybody, this is Expat, and welcome into another episode of Star Wars Republic, our show about all things Star Wars here on the Arena Productions. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about episode 4 of Ahsoka, Fallen Jedi. But before I talk about it, I just want to let everybody know that this is a spoiler-filled recap and review of episode 4 of Ahsoka. So if you have not watched it on Disney Plus yet, please go and watch it, and then come back and enjoy this video. And if you like what I talk about here, please be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell for when we drop another episode of Star Wars Republic or any of our other content here on the Arena Productions. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into this episode. So we basically leave off where we were in episode 3 with the ship stranded in the forest. And it's interesting how Huyang goes out, and you know that these soldiers are going to come out and try to ambush the ship. And it's pretty cool how Huyang is able to defend himself against the other robot droids. And then, of course, Ahsoka and Sabine come out and dispose of the rest of them. But, I mean, yeah, it's interesting how Baylan and, of course, his apprentice, he sends his apprentice and the other kind of like an inquisitor type of guy out after them, where Baylan stays with, of course, Morgan Elsbeth. And it's interesting how in this episode, Ahsoka continues to question whether she can trust Sabine. And it really shows towards the end of the episode that this trust is still an issue. And, Ahsoka still feels, worried about, the relationship between them and how it's going to work out. And we see that throughout this episode. But, of course, Ahsoka, great at what she does, with the lightsabers and all. It was an action-filled episode. Really enjoyed it. Sabine, she still, of course, at this moment doesn't have any force powers, but I think at some point in this series, it's going to come out of her, because they were hinting so many times in episode 3 about, well, everybody, has the force in them. They just don't know how to bring it out and to be able to use it and to control it. But I think it's going to come out at some point. But yeah, and then we get to, of course, Hera. She just goes off on her own, and she brings Carson, of course, with his X-Wing from the Mandalorian series. So a little cameo from him. So they go out to try to assist Sabine and Ahsoka. And then, of course, the lightsaber duel between Baylan and Ahsoka in this episode. It was really cool, and the back and forth between Baylan, who I think Baylan is the one they're referencing as the fallen Jedi in this episode. Obviously you can think of Ahsoka as a fallen Jedi as well. I mean, well, she left the Jedi Order, but I mean, yeah, Baylan probably is the one they're referring to as the fallen Jedi. So, I mean, how he talks about, how you have to destroy in order to create. So that was, interesting. And how, Thrawn is going to start the war, and he's not going to have anything to really do with that. And then he brings up, of course, Anakin, and the fact that, Anakin and her have just led to destruction and all. The lightsaber duel was really cool. And then obviously we get Ahsoka injuring and burning her hand when she tries to take that map orb. And then she tells Sabine, to destroy it, and she won't. After Baylan knocks her off the cliff, and she's not dead. I mean, there's no way in hell that Ahsoka is dead. And I'll get to that in a minute, but it was interesting how Sabine and Baylan's apprentice, Shen, fighting in the forest and all. uh, Sabine using her Mandalorian skills to survive. She got really lucky actually, but then after Ahsoka knocks Shin into the wall, Sabine had a chance to destroy the orb, and she wouldn't, because the masterful stroke of Balin in this episode, he feels her using the Force and using Ezra Bridger to lure her to give him the map and to say, hey, come with me. I will keep my promises, unlike your master. So yeah, just a masterful stroke for him to use the Force in that way to manipulate her, talking about her family dying on Mandalore and everything. So they go to, the transport, and Hera and them get there, but then of course they jump into hyperspace, and it just blows like two of the X-Wings into each other, and it's lucky that Hera and Carson didn't also meet their fate there. But now I want to jump to the end of the episode, because I mean this was really, really cool, and obviously they're making references to Star Wars Rebels. Obviously the episode where Ahsoka is on the bridge, and the episode in Rebels. So spoilers if you have not seen Rebels. So maybe you might want to kind of turn off for maybe about 20 or 30 seconds as I talk about this. But in Rebels, there's an episode where Ezra and Ahsoka are on this kind of a bridge between worlds. There's like a bridge there. And Ezra basically saves Ahsoka. And then there's like Palpatine and everything in it. But this bridge reminds me of that episode, and she's standing on it. So you think she's dead, but she's not dead. I mean, it's probably some kind of dream or something. Let us know in the comments what you think this is. But I think it's similar to the bridge that was in Star Wars Rebels. But then you hear, of course, hello, Snips. And you know who it is then, because Snips is the kind of the nickname that was given, to Ahsoka by Anakin. And then she turns around and there's Anakin standing there, just waiting for her. And of course he says to her before that, I didn't think I would see you so soon. And I thought that was a pretty cool ending to the episode. And obviously next week, Dave Filoni is directing episode 5, and it's going to be a huge episode. And obviously the beginning of the episode, we're probably going to get the more of a conversation between Ahsoka and Anakin, and that's going to be really cool to watch. And then, is this a portal to get Ahsoka? Is Anakin going to teach her to get through this portal to get to where Morgan Elsbeth and Balin and the rest of them, with Sabine now is basically a prisoner, trying to still hang on to some hope of finding Ezra Bridger. And I think that's one of the main missions now of Morgan Elsbeth. Once she finds Thrawn, the first thing they're going to try to do is to kill Ezra Bridger. So to save Ezra, I mean, it's going to be really cool to see. So really excited for episode 5. And like I said, let us know in the comments what you thought of episode 4. What did you think of the lightsaber duels? What did you think of the ending with Anakin and Hayden Christensen appearing at the end? Really excited for next week. I'm looking forward to bringing you the recap and review episode of that, of episode 5 next week on our Star Wars Republic show. So anyway, I've been your host, Expat. I'm looking forward to next week. So may the Force be with you, and I'll be signing out here, and I'll see you next week. So take care, everyone. Peace out.